Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to yet another installment of the Red Shadow's favorite games. And as normal, I am the Red Shadow, and I want to talk about a game that, once again, unfortunately, I can't hold up something to show off to you for it. This is a download-only game on the PC, and it's called To the Moon. But despite the fact that I don't have anything tangible to hold on to show off, there is something about this game that will really strike home in your heart, unless you're just a total a-hole. I don't know how else to say it than that. This game is amazing for a lot of different reasons. For one thing, I do believe it was released in 2011, and it uses sort of like the RPG Maker style gaming, which means it looks like a 16-bit like Super Nintendo game in an RPG form, although it employs some aspects to it that were never like really seen in any games from that era. But it's like the perfect marriage, I guess, of today's technology merged with some older technology. And the most important thing about this game is that it has an amazing story. Confusing story, perhaps, but an amazing one that'll tug at your heartstrings unless, like I said, you're a cold-hearted a-hole. I'm currently watching a couple of YouTubers play it. Now, when it was first like really out, it was played by guys like PewDiePie and Cry. I think they were the only two who I've seen play it, and I've been campaigning to have so many of the other people that I watch on YouTube play it that it's like crazy. I mean, I don't spam it or anything like that, but I've asked recently Markiplier, I've tweeted to him a couple times to play this game. And it's funny how right now, at this very moment, I'm watching two other YouTubers play it, a big channel and a very, very small channel, but both equally awesome, and it's very, very, cool to see a couple new people's take on this game. Anyway, the people who are playing it right now are Cinnamon Toast Ken and Guernsey Dave. And like I said, it's really cool to sit down there and watch it. Now, see, I'm a person who's played the game myself, watched it play a couple other times. Now it's been a couple of years, and I've been antsy to play it again. In fact, I wanted to play it for this video. But since I'm watching a couple other people play it, I feel like it's refreshed my memory enough to go ahead and sit down and do this video. And at Christmas time, and I feel really bad that I haven't played this yet, but there was sort of like a expansion released. It was like a Christmas episode. But I'll have to get into that here in a moment, because this is To the Moon is basically, as far as I know, like the first episode in a longer series of games. Because the games, they're not about the characters that are like the life that you're experiencing in To the Moon. It's about the characters who are doing the job that allows you to live the memories and life of this particular group of characters. I'll try to explain myself a little bit better. The game To the Moon is about a guy named John who was married many, many years before to this lady named River, who had some sort of a condition, and then later on in her life had some medical problems and ended up passing away because she passed on treatment for her medical condition to instead fund the build of a house that her husband and her were going to build overlooking a lighthouse that was very, very important to them. It's confusing, it's complicated, and without playing the game, you're probably not really going to grasp what's going on. But the game is about, sort of about learning about River and her condition, but it's also more so about learning about John, the husband, who has hired this company to come on his deathbed and go into his memories and change his memories and allow him to go to the moon. And you learn the reasons why as you play the game. They go into his memories, into his, well, not necessarily his dreams. I'm thinking about another game that allows you to do the dream thing. But it lets you go, they go into his memories and they try to change little things and see whether or not he will accept a new life path in his brain that sees him going to the moon. And it's those two characters, Neil Watts and Eva Rosaline, the two characters from the Sigmund something, I can't remember the full name of the company that they work for, but those are the two main characters of this game, despite the fact that the story has to do with John and River and their life. And that's why To the Moon is like the first episode in hopefully a long series of games where they go to somebody else's life and go into their memories and change things and take you on these emotional roller coaster rides, hopefully for several episodes. The Christmas special, I believe, is going to touch a little bit more on that because it should be about Eva and Neil and not about John and River. But the reason why To the Moon gets to me so much is because of John and River's story. I don't want to say anything more about the story other than it's just amazing. It's so, in my opinion, and I'm no expert or anything, but in my opinion, it's very well crafted. You get to fall in love with all the characters involved. You want to know every time they go to a new memory what you're going to find out about John and River. And every little thing, every little item that you have to manipulate is connected in some way to another part of the story. And a lot of the focus of the story seems to be on, I feel like, is on River, because all the things that she does are very symbolic. And of course they touch on her condition throughout the game, which is something you should play the game to understand what it is that she has, what her condition is. But a lot of it also has to do with learning more stuff about John. And by the time you get to the end of the game, which is more like early or memories of John, you understand, what was going on in his past and in his world and why he is the person that he is. I don't know, like I said, I can't really explain it all that well, but once I got to that moment in the game where you really kind of figure out just what's going on and who John is and why he is the way that he is, why he loves River so much, it's a tearjerker. It will make you want to cry, even if you resist it. You'll feel some sort of emotion, or there's something wrong with you. So anyway, that's about all I can say about it. Like I said, I wanted to tread lightly with the story because I think that people should play it, or at least give somebody else's Let's Play a watch of it. PewDiePie was affected by it. Cry is always a great one to watch a video like this of. And I'm finding with the other two, Cinnamon Toast Ken and Guernsey Dave, that it's really fun to see how they're going to react to it. Now, it's a very dialogue-heavy game, and walking around exploring and finding things. About the most action you get in a game are these little puzzles that transition you from one memory to another. And they're not necessarily simple or easy, but it's just a brief interlude that kind of breaks up the heavy, intensive dialogue and story from each memory. So, if I've piqued your interest at all, you should go to Steam and check it out. I don't know how much it costs nowadays, but in my opinion, just about anything is worth it for playing this game. And I'm hoping that with support that we are going to see a continuance of this series in the near future. So anyway, that wraps that up. To the Moon. Check it out. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.